So everybody's going to need 2 blocks today. You guys all have, excuse me, you guys, let's get started. You're going to need 2 blocks and a blanket today. And let's start seated. Yeah. You can sit however you want to be. And just begin by orienting yourself to your space. Noticing what you see, what you hear. Maybe taking a sigh or two. Noticing where you're making contact with the floor and your props. You might wiggle your toes or wiggle your seat. Notice where your hands are resting, wherever they feel best on your legs. And as you sit here, notice if there's anything that you could release to gravity, any part of your body that you might be able to let go of a little bit more. You can either close your eyes or you could just let your eyes settle on a spot. Imagine you're taking an elevator down from your brain into your body. Settling into more of a feeling state than a thinking state. Fully inhabiting your body right now in its position and however it feels, right? Just allowing yourself to be present with whatever is there for you right now. And then as you take an inhale, you might lift up a little higher, feel like you're extending through the spine toward the ceiling. Can you do that without tension? So could you uplift a bit, but without causing any extreme tension or force to do that? And then could you feel as though you're getting a little bit wider across the front of your chest? A little bit softer through your jaw. And then as you take your next inhale, perhaps making the breath a little wider, more of a 3-dimensional breath. And as you exhale, let's exhale out the mouth. And you could do that through pursed lips or like you're blowing out through a straw. And then doing that again. And then with eyes open, let's start to move the nose around and the head like you're drawing a spiral, as though you had a pen on the end of your nose. And so each time you circle around, just get a little bit wider with your spiral or a little bit bigger. Noticing how your neck feels this morning. Continuing to breathe as you do that, just letting your breath flow. And when you get to your widest circle, let's go inward. So now reverse directions. And now each circle gets a little bit smaller until you come into the center. Keep breathing. And whenever you get into the center, no rush at all, but we'll just inhale and squeeze the shoulders up and exhale, let them drop. And do that 3 times. And then you could squeeze them back. Inhale, squeeze them back. And exhale, let them relax a few times. Good. And then with the head, So we'll just relax the shoulders, sitting upright. Just going to do a little chicken head. So forward, and then can you bring it back and forward and back? And then could you try to go side to side? Relaxing your jaw. Good. All right. And then just coming into center, let's take your hands and place them below your right collarbone, just kind of pressing down like you're stretching down. So when I pull down, I immediately start to feel it in the side of my neck a little bit. Okay. And then taking your head any amount away from it. So to the left, and relaxing your jaw, really slackening your jaw. Good. And you can move your chin around in any direction if you want to, just feeling a gentle stretch through the front of the neck here. Keep breathing. You might feel your breath below your hands. Good. And then we'll come back to the center, gently releasing tension on the hands. Let's switch to the other side. So to the left, below the left collarbone, a little pressure down and in, and then gently taking the head to the right. Just noticing how it feels on this side. Just softening through your jaw and your tongue. You might feel your breath below your hands. Good. And then gently releasing that, coming back to center. Let's inhale and reach the hands up and arms up toward the ceiling. And exhale, let's spread them out and then down behind you, fingertips to the floor. And inhale to roll the shoulder heads back, maybe lifting through the chest and chin. Exhale, staying there. Inhale, if it bothers the neck, just look forward. And exhale, let's release and come onto hands and knees now. And spreading your fingers wide. We'll tilt the tail up and then gently move through the spine to cow pose. And let's move through cats and cows with a wave-like motion through your spine. So when you go from position to position, let the tail move first. So the tail turns up first. And imagine just a wave-like motion all the way up your spine. You can just let your breath be continual. Head comes up last, and then tail moves first to tuck under. And head comes down last. Doing a few of these. You can do them more quickly if you want as well, but trying to feel this wave-like motion as though you could move one vertebra at a time. Good. And then whenever you want to, you could start to make rib circles. And you can add that in with a cat and cow if you'd like. I'm just circling my rib cage around like I'm moving around the circumference of the inside of a barrel. And then reversing directions, letting your neck be however you want it to be. Good. And then coming back to center, let's spread the fingers really wide and just press down through the fingertips and the base of the fingers and start to move your weight around on your hands. So you're getting a stretch through the wrists and the hands. Can you press down through the fingertips so much that those knuckles bend? Good. And then putting a little pressure so there's some weight on the hands. Can you keep that weight there and try to lift up against it so that you're on your fingertips without any hyperextension. So the knuckles stay bent and then come back down. And then again, so your weight is on it. It's like you're trying to lift weights. If I do it back here, it's too easy for me. So I need to put weight on it, strengthening through your hands and wrists. Keep breathing. Couple more. Good. And now let's turn the hands over with the fingers facing one another. And first, just take your weight back so you're not, you can test into how you're feeling. And you can gently try to bring it forward as much as feels okay in your body. And from here, keep breathing. I'm going to lift not the fingers, but just the wrists and backs of the hands and then back down. And again, you can test out how much weight will work for you to be on your hands. Good. And now let's come up on the knees and make fists with the hands. And we'll exhale, turn the fists downward. Okay. And inhale, come into wrist extension and spread the fingers slowly. And let's repeat that. Go down and then up. And just notice if you're getting any shoulder tension. Try to just let your shoulders relax down your back. Good. And now let's come back down to tabletop. And inhale as you reach the right arm up, pressing down through that left arm. And exhale, we're going to thread it underneath the other arm. You can tuck the chin down. We're going to be coming up and down. Okay, so inhale, press down through that left arm, reach back up. And exhale, thread. And just go slowly, noticing how you feel through your mobility in the shoulders, the neck, and also in bearing weight on the wrist. Good. This next time you come threading through, maybe stay there and see how it feels. You might adjust your left arm to wherever it feels best. You might get into the upper back a little bit, keeping that neck a little tucked in. Good. And now on the next exhale, let's come into tabletop again. Now, other side, inhale, reaching left arm up, and exhale, threading, repeating that 3 or 4 times before you hold. So gently unwinding your spine. And then when you're holding, you could always adjust where that right arm is, whatever gives you a little leverage to open up through your shoulder and upper back. And can you feel your breath in both sides of your rib cage? And then long exhale. You could use Ujjayi breath for your breathing pattern throughout the class, or you could use your natural breath. And then on your next exhale, let's press down through that right hand, come back up to your tabletop position. And we're going to come now down onto a seat, taking your hands behind you. You could have the blanket there or not. I'm just facing my fingers out, but you could face them whichever way you want to. Okay, we're going to inhale, roll the shoulder heads back, and exhale, lift the hips up, squeeze the glutes. And then inhale, come back down, shoulder heads back, and repeat. Now you could leave your chin tucked down. You don't have to look up. So it's all about rolling the shoulder heads back. And in order to have enough support for the neck, you have to have a lot of shoulder mobility here to make a little shelf to support that neck. You could try, if you want to take the head back, tucking the chin down like a double chin and bringing it back, strengthening the neck flexors. Okay, one more. Good, and then this time when you come down, we're gonna come into a side seat with the right knee forward. You might wanna move your blanket out of the way for this. Okay, so side seat, like a 90-degree angle at all the hips and knees, if that works for you. If it doesn't, you can modify, tuck them in, okay? And we're gonna inhale, turning toward the right. There's a little bit of a twist here, right fingertips outside. And then exhale, undo the twist and face chest toward knee. Good. Inhale and exhale, a little dip down as you suck that thigh bone in. Then inhale up. And as you exhale, can you swing this left leg forward? You might be able to float it and twist to the left. If you have to put it down, it's fine too. Inhale, start to move it back. And exhale, turn toward the thigh, a little bow. You can always put your fingers down. Inhale, back up. And exhale, bringing back leg forward, float and twist. Repeat. Okay, a few more. Trying to relax through your jaw as you do this. Good. Sit up tall on those twists, right? You're up here, not here. All right. Now, next time you bring that left leg forward, let's leave it there. And just bring the right knee in, Janu Shirshasana. You could prop the knee if you'd like, okay? If you need to, just prop it. And inhale, sit up tall. You can put your hands, fingertips out to the side to get really tall. Flex the, or no, let's relax the ankle actually. Let's relax the calf a little bit and hinge forward. And then inhale back up. Okay, now your arms can be wherever you want. So you could exhale, hinge forward, reaching them forward, or they could stay behind and inhale back up. As you hinge, let's think belly button lifting up and away rather than rounding down. And just find where you're getting a little bit of a stretch in the back of the thigh. Okay, so that's what we're trying to feel here. Just a little stretch in the back of the thigh as we lean and then come back up. Add one more. Good, and then this time when you come back up, let's exhale and see if you can lift the knees, coming into a side seat with the left leg in front. Okay, and then just organize it once you get there. Okay, and from here, we'll inhale, sit up tall, and exhale, a little twist to the left fingertips over to the side, getting as tall as you can, inhale. And then exhale, untwisting so that your chest faces your knee. Inhale, get long. Exhale, a little bow over the knee. Inhale, back up. And exhale, swinging that back leg forward, straightening it. Sit up tall as you twist. Inhale, bringing it back. And exhale, bow. Okay, and then just repeating that 3 or 4 times, taking your time, letting your breath be continual here, continuous. And then as you're ready, we'll let that back leg come down, and then you can move that left foot back. You can always prop it. Inhale, sit up tall. Hands can be wherever they feel best. Think that you're hinging from the hips as you exhale, coming forward, and just doing a few of these up and down, noticing what angle works best for you, what arm placement works best for you. Now, next time you come up, let's take our block we're gonna put it at the bottom of your mat where your feet are, okay? And then come onto our backs so that your heels are on your block and your body is just laid out on the floor here, okay? Now, the first thing we're gonna do here is press into the block with your heels and engage your glutes, your butt muscles. And just see if you lift off the floor at all when you do that. So your heels are pressing down and you engage the glutes and your hips might lift off the floor as you do that. And then you can come back down. So just first getting a feel for this, how your hamstrings are doing. They might get cramped. And think about lengthening your tail forward so you can engage those glutes. Good. And now you might be able to come up a little bit higher, just see how it feels to you. So you could exhale, press down into the heels and really open the chest, pressing down into the arms a little bit too. It's like a long bridge. Couple more. Full leg engagement, glute engagement. And now next time you come down, let's bend the knees and you can take them off the block and just get a little bit closer to the block so that the knees are bent at about a 45-degree angle, putting the block between your feet so you can hold the block with your feet, okay? Feet or ankles. Okay. Now inhale here, and as you exhale, can you engage the abdominals and start to draw the back of the ribs down to the floor? And abdominals engaged, good. Inhale again. And this time as you exhale, can you press the back down toward the floor as you lift the block off the floor? Gonna bring it up so that you can grab it with your hands. Good, keep breathing. Exhale as you take the arms overhead and now the heels at this bent at this 45-degree angle with the knees are gonna try to tap the floor without letting the back come up. And then you're gonna come back up and you can just breathe however you wanna breathe, okay? Now you're gonna put the block between the feet again. The arms will come overhead as the feet dip down with the block in them. Then coming back up, I'm using my inhale to come back up to switch, but you could do it either way, same thing. So the key here, you guys, is to not let your back come off the floor. Okay, so can you keep, that might mean that your heels don't go to the floor at all. They might just come part way down to the floor and that's fine, okay? It's more important that you're aware of your back and your ribs arching away from the floor. That's what we're trying to avoid, okay? Let's do a few more. Remember, trying to do it with your core, which I'm sure you're feeling, but not your jaw. And remember, engaging, pressing down through the core. Good, and then whenever you're ready, you can put the block in your feet and then drop it down, just straighten out on the floor for a moment, noticing. Arms wherever they feel best, breathing. Let me take a sigh. And let's stretch arms overhead and reach through the feet now. Inhale. And as you exhale, let's bring both knees in and rock yourself all the way up to standing if you can. And if you can't, that's okay. Just press down with your hands and come on up. Let's get our blocks toward the front of the mat. I'm gonna take my blanket for knee padding so it's all ready. And I'm noticing how it feels, standing, feet parallel. And just wiggle your toes around a little bit on the floor. You can let your eyes close if you want to. And same thing we did in seated. Can you just feel the height of your body, like reaching up toward the ceiling in a relaxed way? And then feel yourself grounding down through the feet as well, through the balls of the feet, the heels of the feet. You might even sway your weight around a little bit. And then finding center. And when you're ready with eyes open, let's inhale, reach the arms way up. And as you exhale, let's forward fold, hinging from the hips. Inhale, extending spine forward. And exhale, let's step the left leg back and drop the knee. Good. And inhale, tuck the tail under. Back hip is over, back knee. Good. And exhale, let's bring the arms up just at shoulder height. Yeah. Inhale here. Keep tucking the tail forward. Good. Exhale, can you twist right arm opens up to the right, chest can go too, but keep your hips stable. And inhale back to center. And exhale, other direction. Left arm opens up. Keep tucking the tail under. Good. And you can turn to look if you want to too. Keep that left glute engaged. Okay, now the next time you come forward, doesn't matter which side, let's take the hands behind the head. Okay, we're gonna inhale, and as you exhale, let's turn towards your right with your chest. Keep tucking the tail. Inhale, try to dip that left elbow forward, still turn to the right. So I'm leaning, dipping, just whatever amount feels safe, and then inhale back up. And exhale, now can you dip the right elbow back down towards your back foot? Now imagine you're facing a wall. You're still facing the right. Yeah, still facing the right. Good. Inhale back up. Exhale, dip left elbow down. And now close right elbow so your chest is facing your knee. Good. Inhale, open left elbow. So now you're facing the left. Exhale, come back up. Make sure your neck feels okay. Inhale, let's dip down to the left behind. Exhale, back up. Okay, we're going to dip to the right again. Chest is facing the left. Exhale, back up. Dip to the left back. And back up. Imagine you got a wall behind you. Okay, we're going to dip to the front. And now close that left elbow. Open the right elbow. Just keep breathing. Rise up. So now it's like you're facing a wall here. Dip back down towards your back foot. Back up. Front knee, we're going to close this time. Close elbow. Open to left. Rise. Go to the back. Rise. This time, instead of dipping forward, we're going to turn to the front. Okay, pause and tuck the tail again if you lost it. Inhale, maybe you can spread the elbows wide and imagine that you're lifting up through your chest, getting really long through the low back. Good. One more breath. Good. Exhale, release, bringing the arms down. Let's inhale, step to any kind of plank pose. So it could be knees off the floor. It could be knees down the floor with hips tucked. Wherever you choose to be, can you protract those shoulder blades, tuck the tail, and if you're in a knees up plank, can you lift your hips as high as your shoulders? Yeah, lift your hips as high as your shoulders. There you go. Really get that core engaged so there's no hip sag. Good. Good. And then from here, dropping knees, let's exhale to lower down. Inhale, Sphinx pose. Really press down through your pubic bone, spread across your collarbones, exhale. Inhale again, keep engaging the glutes. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, place the hands for a push-up. Exhale, roll the shoulder heads back. Draw the ribs in, engage the abdominals, maybe just come up to knees here. And then you can go back to a puppy dog pose or a downward dog pose. See what feels better in your body right now and keep breathing. Right? Now let's do a little check-in here. Whole body check-in. How's everything feeling in your body? Right? Just noticing here that Anamaya Kosha, which is the sheath of our experience that is the physical body. And then how's your breath, the pranamaya kosha, that layer, that energetic vitality layer? Can you make your breath rhythmic, whether you're using Ujjayi breath or not? Can you breathe in a certain count and out a certain count, like you're keeping a beat with your breath? Nice. Good. Now from here, depending on where you're coming from, you're going to end up in that left leg forward half kneel. So you can bend the knees and exhale, step left leg forward, dropping right knee. And then inhale, rising up. So back hip is over back knee. Okay. And tucking the tail under. We're going to try to keep that tail tucked the whole time. Okay. And tuck that back toes too. Inhale, bringing arms up at shoulder height. And as you exhale, let's open the left arm, turning chest to the left. Inhale back to center. And exhale, right arm, chest to right. Good, you guys. Yeah. Let's do one more each side. Keep tucking the tail forward. Good. All right, this time when you come back to the center, let's inhale, hands behind head. Okay, exhale. And the first thing we're gonna do is inhale, turn your chest to the left. Good, now exhale. You don't have to dip far, or you can, depends on your body, okay? Dipping forward. Inhale up, and then exhale. Can you dip back a little bit? Inhale up, exhale, dip forward. And now we're gonna close that left elbow. Inhale, opening up right elbow. Exhale, rise. Inhale, dip. You can just keep your breath continuous. Keep tucking that tail forward. Gonna go toward the front, close the elbow, open up the left. Make sure your neck feels okay, coming up, going back, coming up. And this time we're gonna turn toward the front. Whenever you get there is fine, and just retuck the tail, supporting the neck with your hands. Feel like you're getting long through the low back. So the more you tuck the tail, you can find that length through the low back, and instead you're opening through the chest here. Good. Relax your neck though, you guys. Give your neck some love with your hands. Good. And now on your next exhale, slowly coming forward, you can find your blocks. We'll inhale to lift your back knee off the floor. And as you step forward, you might want to float that leg up off the floor to step forward. Inhale to reach your spine forward. And then exhale, let's bend the knees like you're seated in a chair. Inhale, rising up, reaching way up. And exhale, arms out. And inhale, reaching up. Exhale and fold. Hinge at the hips, weight toward balls of feet. Inhale, reaching your spine forward, getting long. And exhale, we're going to step into plank pose. Now, I'm going to show this two ways. First, inhale, protract the shoulder blades and tuck the tail. Lift your hips as high as your shoulders, but without hinging them. So not like this, right? Not like down dog, hinging here. Hips high, but tail tucked. Okay, now from here, you exhale, can you come into side plank on the left arm? So you'd switch around. Now, another way you could do this is by dropping the left knee to the floor, right? So you could come like this. And then exhale, come back down to your plank. And if you're on your knees, you could bring both knees down, okay? Inhale, pausing in plank, and exhale, switching to the right side plank. Again, right knee could be down here. Keep going. So we're gonna move on our exhales from position to position. And again, if it's too much on your wrists or your shoulders, please just put a knee down through the whole sequence. Your knees can come down and just work on the opening up. Good. Keep going, you guys. So we're really working shoulder mobility and stability here, right? Not only do your shoulders have to be mobile in order to be able to open up like this, it's a big opening, but they have to be stable to control the movement. And can you also use your core? We really turned on your core at the beginning of our practice. Can you feel that working here as you're doing these switches? Glutes engaged the whole time. Now, next time you face down, doesn't matter after which side. We're gonna pause there and exhale. You can drop to knees and lower down to the floor. Might need to move your knee padding out of the way, just up to you, okay? And inhale, Sphinx pose or Cobra pose with the hands out in front, Cobra, engaging glutes, shoulder blades down, back, nice. Now, can everybody, whether you're in Cobra or Sphinx, can you engage your lower abdominals so that you take any compression out of the low back? Good. Inhale. And now as you exhale, what we're gonna do is lower down and reach the right arm on a diagonal, like about 2 o'clock if you were on a face clock. You might decide you wanna come to 3. You're gonna decide in a moment. Okay, left hand is pressing into the floor like a push-up. And now your right shoulder, gonna take it, and I don't know if you can see me or not, but see what I'm doing with it? It's rolled forward right now. I'm gonna roll it back, down my back. It's okay if you have to bend the elbow to do that. And then I'm gonna come into my prone stretch. So I'm going to start to bend the left knee, taking it around my back, doesn't matter how far. My neck is just comfortable. I'm putting it wherever it feels best. Can you keep rolling this right shoulder down your back though? Instead of letting it pitch forward like it does in everything that we do in our lives pretty much, right? Okay, keep breathing. And now we're just gonna switch sides. So exhale to come out, engaging your core. Let's take the left hand, left arm, 10 o'clock or so, okay? Right hand, ready to press, looking to the right. Exhale, start. Oh, I forgot about the shoulder. Do that shoulder first, okay? I always forget that. So left shoulder blade down your back. Try to keep it there as you come into this stretch. And find what the best angle for your left arm is. It can be any direction. Take a couple of breaths here. Trying to stretch the front of the chest. If we get that shoulder blade down the back, you can get into the pec minor. Keep breathing. Big, wide inhales. And now let's go side to side a few times. Try to be aware, go really slowly to try to be aware of getting that shoulder blade down the back on the side that you're stretching. Whew. You might notice one side is tighter than the other. I sure do. Neck is at ease. Mine's off the floor, but I'm kind of taking it and tucking it, the chin as I go back and forth. All right. And next time you pass through the middle, we're going to do our push-up. Okay, so getting your hands set for a push-up. Inhale, roll the shoulder blades down your back. Exhale, tuck the toes, draw the ribs in and press up to knees or full plank, of course, either one. And back to your child's pose or your down dog, taking a few breaths there. Right, let your head rock side to side in whatever pose you've chosen. Pressing down through all your fingers if you're in a pose that's using strength from the arms. Good. Nice. And breathing. And now from here, let's inhale, bend the knees and look between your hands. Now you could step up to the front, try to use 2 steps if you can, or you can try to hop up to the front, getting a little springy, trying to go light. And then inhale, hands above knees, extending spine forward. And exhale, sitting like you're sitting in a chair, weight towards your heels. Inhale, let's rise up. Exhale, arms out and down. And as you come into Tadasana, mountain pose, just notice how your body feels now. You know, if it feels any differently than it did a moment ago here. And where do you notice those sensations? Again, checking in with that Anamaya kosha. How's your mind doing? You know, where's your focus? The Manomaya kosha. And then let's get that breath back, right? So inhaling for a count of 4, going really wide. Exhaling a count of 5. Good, and then let's start moving again. Inhale, arms reach up. And as you exhale, find your blocks as you fold. You can bend the knees, of course. And an inhale to extend your spine forward. And then exhale, taking that left knee back and dropping the knee. Good. Step the left hand out to the left and exhale as you open up the chest to the right, bending your back knee, but don't grab the foot, just reach toward it. Good. And then inhale, stay here, maybe lift the chest more, maybe lean back toward the left hand. And then as you exhale, come back around to face the front. Let's place those blocks on their low heights. Inhale and exhale, step to downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, staying in down dog. And exhale, staying in down dog. Good. Now, as you inhale, let's start to round the spine and let's bring the knees down to the floor. Hands are still on our blocks. Let's inhale, engage your glutes and tuck the tail. So you're in a plank. Good. And then exhale, can you start to spread across the collarbones, keeping the tail tucked under. So you're not going to be like this. No back bend with butt up. Tuck it under. Instead, taking the opening into the upper back and chest and shoulders. Good. Modified upward dog here. Good. Exhale. Inhale. Now, let's move from the lower abdominals. So let's exhale, engage there first. Come back. Going into child's pose with the pinky edges of the hands pressing strongly down into the blocks. Head comes down between arms. Head. Inhale here. Press those pinkies down. Exhale. Good. Inhale, let's rise back up. And exhale, down dog on the blocks. Inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, bending the knees. And exhale, let's step the right leg forward. Dropping the back knee. Stepping your right hand out to the right. Oh no, this is the side we did before, isn't it? Because yes, let's do the other side. Let's do a jump switch since we're here and I messed up. So let's bring your blocks up to a higher level, not the highest level, okay, the medium, right? And I'm gonna practice doing is inhale and then exhale, can you round and draw your belly in? Yeah, and inhale, you can relax it, sink, exhale. Okay, so we're gonna try to do is, can you lift the knee off the floor and do the same thing like this? And then you can step to bring the other foot in front, or you can hop to bring the other foot in front, okay? So, and then try to go back and forth a couple of times just to get the feel for it. So use your exhale, press into your arms, but really use your core to help you lift. Good. And now let's get that left leg in front again and drop the right knee down. Good. All right, now let's step that right hand out to the right. It can be on the block or not. And inhale, we're gonna twist toward the left, bend the back knee, reach the left arm back. Exhaling there, rolling that right shoulder blade back. Inhale, you might lean back a bit. Exhale, untwist, coming back around. Good. Getting your blocks below your hands. Let's inhale, lift the knee. And exhale, step it forward. Inhale, extending your spine forward. Exhale, sitting in a chair. Good. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, arms out and down. Just pausing for a moment, noticing how you're doing. Do you guys want the heat down a little bit? Yeah, okay. Good. So just feeling you can sway around on your feet, checking again in. How have things changed and how you're feeling here? Good. All right. And then from here, we'll start from the front of our mats again. Okay. So inhale, stand tall, and exhale. Let's step the right leg back first this time, but warrior one pose with feet on, like they're on two tracks rather than on a tightrope. Okay. And in our warrior one, we're going to scoot the left hip back. You might need to bend the back knee so you can tuck the tail a little bit. So we still get that same sensation through the front of that back hip. Good. And inhale, hands behind head, interlacing fingers. Exhale, supporting head, relaxing neck. Let's take a couple of big breaths here, focusing on opening up through the chest as you lengthen the low back by tucking the tail. Good, and again. One more breath, engage your back glute. And now slowly releasing the hands, engage the abdominals to come out of any bending backwards and interlace your hands behind your back. We're going to inhale to roll the shoulder heads back. You can have the elbows bent so that you can roll those shoulder heads back. Good. Now exhale, you can stay here upright, or you might find you want to try to scoot left hip back as you hinge. Let the neck relax, and your arms could straighten more. They could also come up toward the ceiling. Keep feeling your back foot pressing into the floor for support, and keep scooting the right hip back as you bend the right knee and reach the spine long. Yeah, good. One more breath. And now from here, could you press into your feet to reach the spine forward? Feel like you're being pulled by your arms behind you to come all the way up. Good. Release the hands. Just kind of shake out the arms a little bit. Let's inhale, arms up. And exhale, we're going to try to stand on the left foot, bringing the right leg forward. Head. Can always tap it down. Inhale. Now exhale, can you take your left hand to your right knee and your right arm behind you for a twist? But you don't have to look at it. If it bothers your neck, look where it feels best. Shoulder blade down back, inhale. And exhale. And again, inhale. And as you exhale, untwist. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, step down. Head other side. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, left leg goes back, warrior one, but a little funky warrior one. We're really going to tuck the tail forward, maybe bend the back knee a little bit, shift right hip back, interlacing hands the weird way. So maybe put them in front of you and just cross them the way that you wouldn't normally, and stick them behind your head. Jaw relaxed, neck relaxed. Now think of this as opening up the ribs like an accordion as you lengthen the low back by tucking the tail under. Good. And then as you exhale, let's release the arms, taking the hands behind the back. Inhale, you can bend those elbows to roll the shoulder heads back. And you can keep tucking the tail under using your knuckles. Or you could exhale, hinge forward, scooting that right hip back, getting long through the spine. The arms might want to straighten a bit. They might want to move up toward the ceiling. So your spine is long, except for the neck can be at ease. Okay, a couple breaths here. Good, and then exhale, using both feet, especially that back foot too, to come up. And inhale, arms up. Exhale, can you step forward, balancing on the right foot? And inhale. Exhale, twisting to the left. Good, engage the right glute. Inhale, tall. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale, untwist back to center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, foot down, arms down. Good. Inhale, reaching arms up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, extending spine forward. Exhale, we're going to step the left leg back. You might need your knee padding. I'm grabbing mine. And drop that knee. Hands are on blocks here. That one will go off on its own. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good. And then inhale, going to open up to the right, bending your back knee. Yeah, like so. Okay. And then exhale, we're going to bring the right hand back to the block, straighten the legs or bring them towards straight, and lift the front sole foot off the floor. Like that, okay? And we're going to inhale, drop back down, and we're going to repeat. Exhale, twist, open, lift chest, bend back knee. Again, inhale, come back down. Exhale, go to your modified Parsvottanasana. Good, repeat. Engage your left glute when you twist open, bending that knee. Can you soften through your jaw? Now, if you want to stay in either position for a couple of breaths, go for it. You can stay in the Parsvottanasana, the straight-legged one, or this quad stretch and hamstring engager. And then whenever you're ready, and come back around or come back down. Inhale, let's step into plank pose. And exhale, you can go to child's pose, down dog, or through a vinyasa. And taking a couple of breaths, letting your neck be at ease. And then as you're ready, you can bring the left leg forward. And so the right hand will come out to the side. It doesn't have to be on a block, right? And we'll inhale, open the chest to the left, bend the back knee, engage this back glute, and then exhale, come around. We're doing that same thing we did on the first side. So we're gonna lift the back knee, fold over the front leg, lifting the front sole of foot. Yeah, and keep going, your own pace, okay? Now, if you want to stay in either position for a few breaths, you can choose. It doesn't have to be the same one you did on the other side. Just keep breathing, right? So use your wide inhale and your long exhale. And then whenever you're ready to, and come out slowly, we'll meet at the front of our mats in a forward fold. And just pausing there for a moment, letting your neck be at ease. And bring your weight toward the balls of your feet, maybe bending one knee and then the other. Again, feeling that rhythmic breath here. And then when you're ready, let's inhale and rise up. You can roll up or you can reach forward and come up. Just bring the palms together. Exhale and down. Pausing there. You can have eyes open or closed, feeling your feet, your toes, your shoulders, your legs, your hips, your back. Let's breathe in for a count of 4 and out for 5 or 6. Experiencing your body as a field of sensation. And now let's inhale, opening eyes, reaching arms up. And exhale to hinge and fold. Inhale, extending spine forward. And exhale, let's step left knee back, drop the knee. We're going to take the inhale to open to the right, bending back knee like we've been doing. Good, open chest. Exhale, come back around, hand to block. Inhale, start to lift back knee. And exhale, fold forward over the front leg. And inhale, bending front knee. Get your blocks set up so that you can bear weight on them. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, rolling forward, gonna drop knees down to your blanket, engage your glutes and come forward to our modified up dog. Exhaling there, really engage glutes, open chest. Good, inhale. And then as you exhale, move from the lower abdominals to come back to your extended child's pose, pinky edges on blocks, pressing down, stretching back. 3 breaths. Good, and then inhale, rising up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, bending knees. Exhale, left leg goes forward. You can step right hand out if you want. Inhale, open to the left, bending back knee. Lifting through chest. And exhale, coming back around, hands to blocks. Inhale, lifting back knee. And exhale, coming onto the heel of the front leg as you fold. Good. Inhale, stay here. And exhale. And inhale, bending front knee, coming forward. And exhale, step off that back foot and come forward. Inhale, extending spine forward. Exhale, bending knees. And inhale, rise. Exhale, palms together. And down. All right, inhale, rising up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, extending forward. Exhale, we're going to take that left leg back and drop the knee. Inhale, rise up. And you're going to take one of your blocks and put it on the big toe side of your back foot. So make sure you got a solid base here with your legs. Okay. And inhale to tuck the tail under. So you've got that stability through the hips. Okay. And exhale. And inhale, arms out in front. And exhale, start to reach that right arm like a windmill coming around. And look down at your back block. Maybe you could reach it with your hands. And inhale, reach that left arm up. Good. Now, we're just going to practice this for a second. So we're going to exhale, engage the abdominals, and rise back up to use your core to come up. Let me show you what you can do if that block is just not available to you, or if it feels like kind of too dangerous to get to, like your low back doesn't like it. So what you could do instead, if that's happening, is you'd come to right hand to hip, tucking tail forward, and just reach left arm up like this. So you're getting really long, but staying long through the low back and going up. So this is an option instead of this. Okay. This is also an option. You can get your heel. Okay. All right. So let's try it again. You're going to tuck the tail under. Decide if you're going to be reaching to the block or not. If you're not going to, then put your right hand on your low back. Okay. If you are going to, arms out in front. Okay, we're going to inhale and exhale, reaching that left arm up toward the ceiling. Keep tucking the tail forward. Some of you are finding a block. Some of you are just finding length in the low back. Good. You can look up towards your top hand if it feels okay on your neck. You can open up and lean back if you want. Keep breathing. Now you've got that tail tucked under for support, and we're going to use our core on the exhale, engage from abdominals to come up. We're going to grab that block, bring your right knee back. Place the block between your legs. Toes can stay tucked, and tail definitely is going to stay tucked, okay? Ribs will stay down. You can even put your hands there, or your arms could come in front. What we're going to do is inhale, lean back, just the amount you can, like a plank, and exhale, come forward. So just the amount that you can come up and you don't have knee pain. Okay, so you're going to inhale back, exhale forward. Keep going. You can put your arms however they feel best, but know that your glutes are tucked under the whole time, your butt's engaged the whole time, and ribs are sinking down. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, now up here at the top, let's take our hands to our hips. It could be palms like this, or it could be thumbs in, whatever feels better to you, okay? I'm gonna try to find length through the low back. So we're gonna get really long, tucking the tail under, and can you just practice lifting your chest up like it's going straight toward the ceiling through the ribs, long through here. Good. Now you can exhale, roll the shoulder heads back, and just keep opening through the chest, keep tucking the tail under. So you're in a modified camel pose here, right? I'm opening up. Hopefully my shoulders are moving away from my neck. Good. And then relax. Good. So that's one option for camel, especially if you feel a little sensitive in camel pose typically. You want to just stay upright. Keep moving down and just lifting the chest up. So you're working on creating length through your low back and opening through the shoulders, right? Okay. The other option is you're still going to have all that length, but say you've got that length down, your low back's okay. You're going to exhale, going back like a plank, finding your heels, and then inhale, engaging those glutes, pressing them forward, and opening up into more of a full spinal extension. Good. Your head can still stay forward. It doesn't have to go back. And to come out of this, you'd come back to your plank and exhale, use the thighs and the core and the glutes to come up. Okay, so you're going to pick which one works best for you, and we'll do it again. Okay, so whichever one you feel like, you're feeling iffy in your low back, stick with just opening through the chest. Okay, or your knees or anything like that. All right. So either hands to hips or hands are going to be at sides. Let's everybody find length through the low back, tucking tail, engaging glutes, reaching chest up. And then if you're going back, we're going to exhale, squeeze your block, lean back like a plank, find your heels. And inhale, you might open up. Head can stay forward or it can lean back. In both variations, you're tucking that tail and those glutes are engaged, not relaxed. Good. When you're ready to come out, if you're in the heel variation, you're going to sink back to your plank, engage those glutes, squeeze the block, come up. Let's step back to downward dog or any other pose you'd like to step to. If you're in down dog, swaying those hips a little bit. You might want to do cats and cows. Take a couple more breaths. And when you're ready, we'll meet with our left leg forward in our half kneel. Okay, patting the knee. And take your block. If you know that you're not going to do the going back to the block version, you don't have to put your block back there, right? But if you want to try that, you're going to put your block on the inside of the big toes, so on that left side. You're going to find the tail tuck. Okay, let's do the upright version first, just to feel that and know where it is. So we'll inhale, tuck the tail again. Exhale, let's take the left hand to your low back. That's just to remind you to tuck the tail and for support. And inhale, lift the chest and reach the right arm up. And so you're just looking for length here. Length through your low back, a tuck in the tail, a stretch in the hip flexor. Good, keep breathing. And then exhale, coming out. Now you can stick with that version where you can reach back to the block. Okay, if you're reaching, you're gonna inhale, bring arms forward. Tuck the tail. Exhale, left arm will come up and around. You can look for the block and put your hand on it. Keep tucking the tail, your right arm reaching up toward the ceiling. Keep tucking the tail. You could look up or wherever it feels best on the neck. Remember the other version, you're here. Good. Keep breathing. And when you're ready to come out, you're going to use your abdominal muscles and your right glute. Come up and out. We're going to use that block between our legs so you can get it now, or you can get it when you step your knee back. Put the block between the thighs. Same thing we did last time. Let's all do this version first. Hands on hips. Inhale, tuck tail, and just practice on reaching your ribs up away from your hips and getting long through your low back. Good. Exhale, you might roll the shoulder heads back and lift the chest more. You might even press the hips forward as you do that. Okay, and let's see if this is better on your back than the other version. And when you're ready to come out, you engage the abdominals, squeeze the block, come upright. Good. All right, if you're going for the other version, arms will be at sides or hips, right? Inhale. Exhale, we go back like a plank. Find the heels. And inhale, engage the glutes and press them forward. Keep squeezing your block, opening your chest, pressing those hips up. Good. Keep breathing. And when you're ready to come out, you're going to try coming back to your plank. Squeeze the block, engage everything, come up. You can get your block away. Step back to your downward facing dog. Bending knees and shifting hips to the right and to the left. Doing any other movements you'd like to do. And then we'll slowly come down to our knees. and have a seat on your blanket. You can fold it up again if you'd like. Take your legs out in front. Your arms could post up next to you. You could even have the wall behind you if you want, or some of you might like to exhale and fold toward the legs. And relax the ankles. Can let the upper back round. Let the neck relax or move it around however you want to. As you inhale, can you feel your back expand? And as you exhale, softening through the eyes, the jaw, the face. And again. You do little micro movements with your chin and neck. Can sometimes feel good all the way down through your upper back. You can always stay there longer, or if you're ready to come out, just slowly boosting yourself up. And we're going to come onto our backs. We'll just need a low block in your blanket in a moment. Supported bridge pose as you're ready. Slip in the block on the low height, below your butt, below your sacrum. See if you can relax your belly here. You could always be on a bolster as well. That feels better. I really like the softness of that. And now can you inhale through your nose and exhale, experimenting with a longer exhale, maybe even twice as long. Can you allow your shoulder blades to just relax toward the floor? A couple of things that might feel good here would be to, one, it might feel good to straighten out a leg if that feels okay on your back, on the floor, just in a relaxed way, breathing all the way down to the front of the hip. And you would switch sides. Or it might feel good to come into the hammock pose where the knees bend toward the belly and they fall that way with gravity because I'm balancing just on this close edge of my block, tips them in. Whatever you choose to do, and there's other variations as well. And we focus on lengthening that exhale. Experimenting with what would feel best in your body right now. Breathing in for 4, out for 6 or 8. And whenever you're ready to be done, just slowly coming out. You can always stay there longer. After that, you might like a twist or windshield wipers, or you might like happy baby. Doing anything that makes you feel like you would be ready to move to Shavasana. Any other release you might need or movement you might need to practice letting go just for a couple of minutes today. You can use the props however you'd like for Shavasana. And if you need any extra props brought to you, just give me a little wave and I'll bring you something. When you get there, in a couple of sighs. Any adjustments you might need, shoulder blades down your back or head and neck support. Feeling for letting go of as much effort as you can here. Feeling the support below you. And releasing onto it. And you feel as though even your brain is sinking back with gravity away from your forehead toward the floor. Allowing you to soften your eyes, your forehead, the skin on your cheeks. Inviting your tongue to soften and your jaw to soften. Inviting your throat and neck to soften and release. And your shoulders, arms, and hands. And your belly. Your hips and legs. And your feet. And whole body, like you could sink into the floor a little bit deeper. If you wanted to, you could put a hand somewhere on your belly, your chest, or your head, and feeling that contact there. Allowing any intention you might have for your day today to arise to your awareness. You can stay where you are, or you could begin to move a little bit more, slowly finding your way to a seat. And checking in physically and checking in with your breath, checking in mentally, emotionally. And I'll end with an Om. You can join me if you want to. Just going to inhale and then Om. Inhaling. Om. All right. Thanks, everybody. Namaste. Namaste. All right. Enjoy your week. Enjoy the sunshine. I'll see you next week.